So one of the questions that I get the most and that I love the most is, can I use astrology to create a life strategy or a life map? You absolutely can. That's literally why I teach astrology the way that I do. As most people know who've followed me, watched me for a while, I've been into astrology and astronomy since I was little. My dad is an astrologer. We had a telescope when I was little. We used to go look at the stars every night. I studied astronomy in college, but it wasn't until I was like 24, 25 where it kind of clicked for me that it wasn't just like fun or my special interest that was really cool. I'm like, oh, I can like be applying this to make my love life and better. I can be applying this to helping me study in a way that's unique to how I internalize information. We enjoy a good horoscope. We stand a good reading of the moment, love it. But for me, where my heart lives and the reason I teach astrology the way I do is because it is just such an incredible tool for self-reflection and self-understanding, right? And so for me, I would rather teach you, here is what your sun sign, here's what the sun means in astrology for your ambition and what motivates you and your core values and the people that you are attracted to, versus here is what the definition of the sun is. Right? Nothing wrong with the latter. That's the way it's taught in most books. But which one is going to stick with you better? Probably the first one. Which one is going to feel more applicable? Which one gives you like a call to action and tells you what to do once you know the definition of it? The first one. And so, yeah, and also, like there was a comment that was like, do you make the life maps? I do, for me, totally. I've done it a few times with clients. Specifically over the summer, very hush hush, I did a live astro business course. It was like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, invite only with previous clients because I'd never done a live course before. And so I was like, I need to do this with people who know that I know what I'm doing. And it was a lot of fun. And by the end of it, each person had like a booklet, a life map booklet specifically for business. And so like I have one for business because here's the truth of the matter. Every single house of the natal chart, even though they rule different areas of life, can be applied to whatever you want. So even though I teach how to use 6 houses for business and marketing, I can use all 12 because I know how to do that. But I can also use all 12 for trauma healing. I can use all 12 for like life path and direction. And so, which makes sense when you start to think about the fact that all of life, every inch of life, from my nose to my hair to my ring to my tattoo, has to fit into all 12 houses. So all 12 houses rules so much. It rules everything. So there's always some kind of applicable way to use any of these houses for whatever your purpose is. And so for the booklets, like I have like a book, my life strategy for relationships, my life strategy for business and marketing, my life strategy for finding my purpose, all of those things. So I have a bunch, but like specifically, for example, for the business class, so like, let's see, yeah, there's no names on this. So like this is like a snapshot of like the workbook, if you can see. And so like there's these little categories. So it says planets of impact. And so it's like my most influential planet for money and income is Mercury. The utilization of it, it's used for business and communication strategies. Why? Mercury rules communication and commerce. It rules my second house. It also rules my audience. It says examples of application, timing, business planning during pleasant Mercury transits. So it's like very clearly a booklet that tells this person what to use this planet for, how to apply it, and examples of how to do it. And then like even like here, which is like my favorite one, it's like it says how to get out of a bind using the 8th house. It says we're going to use Neptune. We're going to use it for power strategies. Why? Neptune rules my 8th house of resources and power. Use this strategy to get out of issues and clear blockages. How to use this, or examples: creating time for yourself to space off, task, daydream, to be able to problem solve in the subconscious, and go on and so forth. And then like the next page talks about like core strategies for applying this to different things. So her core strategy for attracting and catching an audience's eye is to use her ability to draw people's attention into what's unique about her. Why are we using the strategy for her? Because Leo rules her perception, and Leo also rules over unique personality traits, and then examples, and so on and so forth. And so that's her booklet. And that's an example of a booklet for an astro life map for business. And like we also did like key transits, so like they know every year for the next 6 years between July the 23rd and August the 22nd. That's a transit that they should use for marketing their business and running specials, because that's a good specials. And so like we basically just delved through all the houses and created a life strategy. And so that was the business course. And this fall, like right now, actually, we just started the 12-week astrology as a life path course, which is super exciting. But it's 12 weeks, and because of the length of it, because of the hours of it, because it's during the week, and because like the expense of it, it's a very small course and not a lot of people could register for it. So I will say this, I did create a mini version, it's not mini, but I guess the best way I call it Astrology as a Life Path Lite. And so instead of being a 12-week course, it's a 5-week course plus a bonus week for offloading materials that you get sent to build a life map. And so that's what we're doing in Astrology as a Life Path. Like every week we meet to learn the houses, to learn the planets and what they mean and what they apply to applicably in all areas of life. And then like Astrology as a Life Path Lite, where it's a hyper focus. And so since it's a smaller, or it's a shorter course, we're specifically figuring out how to create, I'm sorry, my dog is making, I don't know if you can hear that, threw me off, sorry. So in Astrology as a Life Path Lite, the focus is creating a life map, just like the first class, but specifically around like power strategies. Like if I need to figure out how to like utilize my powers, how to overcome my vulnerabilities, how to move through past traumas, what are my impactful planets, that's what we're doing in the 6-week version. And so if you're interested in that, you can check that information out below. It might, I make no promises that it'll still be open by this time you see this, because the guarantee of being on my email list is that you get to register for things first. And so like Astrology as a Life Path, even though it might not have been as accessible for everybody because of the number of people on my email list and the class limitations anyways, it sold out pretty quickly. Like, yeah, I think we had everybody for that class within the first week. And so this one's gonna be at a lower price point because it's 6 weeks instead of 12, but it's definitely, it's no walk in the park if you're not there yet. But when it comes to doing it yourself, it's not the hardest if you're willing to apply the time and the effort. And I would say that is kind of like, that's the only thing that's separating my course from you doing it yourself, is that I'm there with you for 2 hours every single week, walking you through what parts of your natal chart are the most impactful for whatever it is we're trying to accomplish, and teaching you how to write this down line by line, like teaching you by the book Astrology, but through the lens of an applicable thing. So, but like, if you're going through like my TikTok videos, if you're like chatting with me under the videos of this, it's not impossible. It's just maybe you don't complete it within 5 weeks, like we will do in the course. Maybe it takes you like 4 or 5 months, and there's nothing wrong with that. Go at your pace. And I think even then, like, it gives you a time to absorb the information at a steady pace. This is more like hey, if you're ready to create a life map using astrology as like a superpower, series before the end of the year. Let's do it. It's for my people who I've just been looking for a course like this because people like courses, because I'd never done live courses before the summer, and definitely not a format. Here's an intro to astrology as it applies to creating a life map. First time ever doing that. But it came out of this place that a lot of people who had worked with me one-on-one, or who just enjoy my my content and who like to do courses, ask for it. So it's not like you have to sign up. No, that's exactly what like my membership platform is. It's like $18 a month. And so people who want to work one-on-one with me to a degree, because I mean it is still group learning because it's like a membership platform, but it's still more intimate than social media posts. But I try to give everybody as much attention as I can because I love teaching in general. So there's a lot of ways to work with me, but definitely, yes, you can create a life map using astrology. Yes, I have helped clients make a map. It's not really something we can do in a one-on-one session because it takes time. Like I just showed you like 3 pages, but that whole booklet there is like 10 pages, but it's from in-depth week-to-week lectures. Like I said, we did that over like 5 to 6 weeks. You know, and so that's a lot more time than like a 1-hour session or a 2-hour session, which really what we're trying to accomplish is you understanding your chart in reference to whatever concerns you have, and you getting like in-depth answers and resolutions based on that. And so like we're in there to problem solve, session work, grab some clarity and understanding, and we're in and we're out in that hour or 2-hour period, whatever you book. But like whenever we do the workshops that are like 6 weeks, or now this 12-week one, which I'm really can't wait to see how that pans out. That is us really in the weeds, doing that deep work every week. But if that is not accessible to you, that is okay. That is why we do videos here on this platform 2 to 3 times a week. That's why we do daily TikToks. That's why you get the emails from me every week. It's just like a drip. And that's why you get the exclusive membership content from me every month, which are like these lessons either by video or audio or articles. Like we're in here, we're doing the work. It's just that different people go at different paces depending on how they work with me. But it's always Kady. Do not fret. But if you want to start creating a life map, all it takes is just start taking it one house at a time or one planet at a time. Start with your sun sign. Go, this is my sun sign. Sun equals power, ambition, values, what I believe in. My sun is in Gemini, let's say. Gemini is ruled by the planet of Mercury. Mercury stands for intellectualism, communication, and fast movement. This is how I process what I value. This is what I hold things up against. Do my relationships and my career match up to Mercury things? Write that down. Boom. Now you have a life strategy for how to use your sun sign. It's so easy. If you have questions about how to get started with these things, drop it in the comments below. But I always say start with your sun, start with your first house, okay? Get that data, look at your natal chart, see what sign rules it, and see what planet rules that sign. And that's going to give you so much insight to creating your life map with astrology. But like I said, always chat with me in the comments below. I try to get through as many as I can. And right now, YouTube is way smaller than my TikTok platform. So it's, you know, it's like a really easy way. Joining with me here is a really easy way to grab my attention and get stuff done. But I love you guys. Make sure you like, comment. Thank you so much for all the views. We're so close to monetization right now. We are like, we only need about 900 watch hours, which is way closer than we were earlier this week. I love you guys. Shout out to everybody doing the 4K in 30 days Zodiac challenge. That just got started. So make sure you opt in for that. It's a free thing. It's a daily task list that we'll be talking about how to make money with the Zodiac. Momo's letting me know it's time. We're under 15 minutes now, and I'm so proud. I thought this was gonna be 10 minutes, but you know, thank you for being here. Drop your questions below. I adore you guys. Talk to you soon.